So the first part of a knighting ceremony is the Accolade, and I'll talk about some of the things that Simeon has accomplished over the last 4 years that he's been my squire, so really proud of the progress that Simeon has shown over those 4 years. And I think that there are kind of 4 major pillars that I like to emphasize in knighthood. So the first of those is decorum. And I think this is kind of the hardest of the 4 pillars because it's something that you don't just mark off and move on. It's something that's tested every day, that's judged every day by people you meet, by your friends, and even more importantly, by people who don't like you. And that can kind of be the hardest time to show proper decorum. So I kind of want to paint a picture for you all, because a lot of you probably, some of you have known Simeon for a long time, but a lot of you probably don't. So before we had Simeon with his glorious mane here, and a resplendent warrior, his first Ragnarok, he had short cropped hair, and he wore an even shorter cropped red tunic. That tunic gave rise to some whistles from Rome camp, and to the nickname Sweet Legs. But Simeon has spent a lot of time crafting his image, his garb, his armor, making basically everything by hand. He's a really skilled craftsman, and he's put a lot of time and effort into that image. But of course, decorum is a lot more than fancy tunics and shining armor. At its heart, it's honorable conduct worthy of respect. And that's what really must be cultivated daily. And so, Simeon, I feel that you absolutely have cultivated that, but I want to, remind you to continuously work towards that. It's something that can't be forgotten. And for those who don't know, so Simeon, both his character and him as a person, as a Christian, so we've chosen to emphasize some more of the Christian themes of knighthood in his ceremony. So Simeon, I have a scripture verse for you to kind of remind you of decorum, and that's Micah 6:8. Do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. So I just hope that you remember that as you think daily on decorum. And the next pillar I'd like to talk about is prowess. It's encapsulated in our house words, Victoria Omnimodo, which, for those who don't know, means victory at all costs. And it is a reference to Winston Churchill's famous speech, Blood, Toil, Tears, and Sweat, when he was speaking to the House of Commons before the Great War. So obviously we make that a big emphasis, and I think Simeon has shown great prowess with your 8-foot glaive, with helping kind of pioneer the hoplite style, and engineering a lot of tech as well to kind of aid that style. I mean, I think you really helped kind of push that style a lot from where it was, and then also sword and board as well. Somewhat embarrassingly, Simeon 2-0'd me yesterday during his night trial. Before we got to sword and board, so we did have a good bout with sword and board. But
that was intense.
I was bringing some heat for the sword and board because I couldn't walk away without at least hitting you a few times. So I was really proud of you with that. And also at the last event that we attended, our friends from Dominion hosted a really awesome event, Tales of Radiance. Simeon was an absolutely phenomenal fighter with his 8-foot glaive, and an excellent teammate and strategist as well. And so Simeon won the Knight Squire tournament. I was his partner in Knight Squire, and then also the Four Horsemen tournament with myself, Simeon, Dunabor, and Alexander, who's not here. So really proud of those tournament winnings as well. I think it was a great display of your prowess. The final two pillars are sort of two sides of the same coin. So the first one's leadership, and Simeon kind of built from the ground up the chapter in Denver, Colorado. Originally we were called Kermorhen. Later on we changed the name to Skyreach, and he had built it up to a point where we were very consistently hitting 25 plus fighters every weekend for a practice. We were having really large day events, and things were rolling really well. And then when another person was elected to take over for Simeon, he stepped down with grace and continued to participate and continued to come to the chapter, even though he did want to continue leading. And I thought you accepted that very gracefully. Unfortunately, with the next leadership, things dwindled, and then after COVID, it was completely destroyed. So rather than despairing, Simeon built the chapter again and got us up and running again, consistent practices, fun practices, lots of people turning out. And then again, when another person stepped up to the plate to kind of take the mantle of leadership, Simeon passed it on. And this time it was a person that I think you worked with them closely to kind of pass on that leadership, and it was a better situation overall. And so Heinrich, those of you who know Heinrich, also in House Volant, has been doing a great job, I think, running Skyreach, and we've had an awesome time with our friends, the Bone Crows, and rating their practices, rating ours, and our friends Gestegeist in Colorado Springs. And we recently had an awesome 50-person day event. So thank you guys for showing up and kicking ass. It was super fun. We love fighting with you guys. So Simeon, just really proud of what you did there. Building a chapter is not something that a lot of people can boast, and you did it twice. So really proud of you there. And
also
then
Bell in Iowa.
And Bell, that's right, and Bell in Iowa. That's true. So another chapter there to add. So then kind of the flip side of leadership is stewardship, and arguably more important. But Simeon's always welcoming to new people, always willing to talk to new people and invite them to the game. He's frequently opened his house to build nights for the School of Mines, Mines of Moria chapter, which is also in the Denver area, and just always willing to step up to the plate. He's also bravely volunteers every year to drive a truck and trailer 3,000 miles from Colorado so that old guys like me can fly. So I really appreciate that service.
Next Ragnarok, I'll be 30, so...
Time to pass that mantle on?
Yeah, maybe.
I love it. So finally, Simeon, I want to read some words to you that were actually written by your brother. So I asked him, told him what was going on and how we wanted to emphasize some Christian themes. And for those who don't know, Simeon's brother is a pastor. His name's Isaac, and so he wrote this letter for you, Simeon, and I am going to read it to you. Okay. Simeon, I know you have worked hard towards knighthood for many years. I am proud of your accomplishment. Tiberius asked me to write a charge to be chivalrous. I charge thee before House of Volant to live out these four virtues: courage, compassion, discipline, and integrity. Courage. We begin with the words of Joshua, one of the greatest warriors and generals of all time. He inspired his troops with these words: Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. A knight must be courageous on the field of battle. Your brothers and sisters are counting on you to face your enemies without flinching. Courage keeps the mind sharp and the heart full. How does a knight maintain his courage? By remembering that you do not fight alone, you fight alongside House Volant. And when the day comes where you must stand alone against your foes, with no Volant brother or sister beside you, remember that you are still not alone. You will always carry the sigil of the Gryphon, representing loyalty, valor, honor, and glory. You have your training and prowess, the discipline and lessons of your house. When you fight, you bring the courage of Volant with you. Finally, a knight of faith is never truly alone, because God is with him. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Psalm 144:1. Compassion. A knight must be known for his courage in battle, but he also must be known for his compassion. This is what the Lord Almighty said, administer true justice, show mercy and compassion to one another. Zechariah 7:9. Any foolish soldier can cause harm, but a true knight knows when to be merciful. It is good to defeat your foes in battle, but it is better to win over an enemy with a kind word. When tempers are hot, remember the proverb, a harsh word stirs up anger, but a gentle answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. A knight wins the trust and loyalty of others through compassion. Discipline. A knight's life must be marked by discipline on and off the battlefield. Join with me in suffering like a good soldier of Christ Jesus. No one serving as a soldier gets entangled in civilian affairs, but rather tries to please his commanding officer. Similarly, anyone who competes as an athlete does not receive the victor's crown except by competing according to the rules. 2 Timothy 2:3-5. One gains discipline through suffering, or as Winston Churchill said, through blood, toil, tears, and sweat. A disciplined knight avoids civilian affairs, meaning he doesn't get entangled in petty squabbles, immature contests, or dishonorable behavior that disqualifies him. The knight's mind is not easily distracted. It is purposeful and focused on serving his commanding officer. Don't be like the athlete who is disqualified for taking shortcuts or cheating. Compete according to the rules. Fix your eyes on the goal and receive the victor's crown with integrity. Integrity. Finally, a knight must live with integrity. Integrity means dedicating yourself to a higher cause, then bringing your words and actions in line with that higher purpose. It means acting honorably in public and private. If you are to lead well and ask people to submit to your leadership, you must have integrity. A knight is an authority with a title and responsibilities over others. Authorities are appointed for the good of the people to protect the innocent and punish the wicked. People will submit to their authority if they can trust that authority to live with integrity. This ancient letter to a church in the city of Rome describes why submitting to authority is important. Let every soul be subject to governing authorities, for knights are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Do you want to be unafraid of the authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For a knight is God's minister to you for good. But if you do evil, be afraid. For he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is God's minister, an avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. Romans 13:1, 3, and 4. First, evil should fear the knight. A knight is a terror to evil, and avenger who executes wrath on evildoers. Cut down evil, but do not swing your sword in vain. Do it with purpose and for the right reasons. Second, protect the innocent. Do not abuse your authority, but walk with honor and integrity. May your weapon be a terror to evil and a comfort to the innocent. Finally, I charge thee again, may your knighthood be marked by these four virtues: courage, compassion, discipline, and integrity. So, yeah, I thought it was really cool that your brother wrote that.
Yeah, that is really epic.
It's well written.
Is that your first time hearing it?
Yes, Simeon's. Yeah, he has not heard it yet.
It's cool.
Okay. So, this belt is a bond to the house, to those who have come before you and to those who will come after you. Like your lineage, this belt was once mine. It is now yours, and someday, soon, or in the future I hope, you will pass it on to a worthy squire. Let it be a constant reminder of your accomplishments. We can wrap it on over, unless you want to remove your,
Yeah, just put it there, 'cause I got
Okay. You may now kneel and recite the oath of chivalry before Lord and House.
I swear by my honor before God and men. Let me make punctuation. I will be faithful to House Volant, never cause harm through word or deed, and I will observe my homage to the Lord Volant completely against all persons in good faith and without deceit. I swear to show only loyalty in the face of doubt, both in myself and in my brethren. I swear to show only valor in the face of challenge of both house and blade. Heart and blade, I'm sorry. I swear to show only honor in the face of trial, both physical and spiritual. I swear to show only glory in the face of conflict, scrutiny of both God and men. May I serve this oath fully to the best of my ability under the banner of Lord Volant, forever until when death take me and God claim me.
This chain represents the oath you have sworn and the charges that you will have received. Let its weight be a constant reminder of your duty. In the name of House Volant, I charge you to fear God and maintain His church.
Clear.
To fear God and maintain His church. To serve your liege lord in valor and in faith. To protect the weak and defenseless. And to live by honor and for glory. By the oath you have sworn and the charges you have received, I, Lord Tiberius Volant, dub thee Sir Simeon Volant, a Gryphon knight of House Volant. Rise a knight and be honored amongst us.